Day here at Globe Life. The fans filled the stands without one hint of strife. The Rangers were champs of the West just last year. They won it in style. They won it right here. But now it is time for a new baseball season. To ignore this great day is something like treason. The smell of the grass and the crack of the bat. The smile on the face. The T on the hat. The sun is just brighter on opening day as fans anxious wait for the umpire to say, "Play ball!" Then it's time to cheer the home nine. A win on this day would start things off fine. It's a day for a kid and his dad or her mama. The start of a season to be filled with such drama. We will cover it all. We will cover it best. Happy opening day from Fox Sports Southwest.
Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT high-speed internet. A template for how opening day around baseball should be. A jam-packed, sold-out house under beautifully blue skies with a bright sunshine and the anticipation of opening day 2016 here in Arlington. And welcome in, everyone. You saw my partner, Tom Grieve. He'll be making his way up after he gets his arm ice down from that first pitch. So we'll anticipate him showing up here in about the third inning. Now, he's shooting back pretty quick. Well, it's a delight to be with you this year. And, boy, the Rangers looking forward to a great start. Trying to forget last year's start, and it's a dandy today. We have Felix Hernandez and Cole Hamels, a battle of the aces, going for the Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. We'll come back to Globe Life Park to help you make some opening day memories right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Get incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT high-speed internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Well, a great day here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Rangers and Mariners set to kick things off. And the Rangers coming off a very good spring, 17-game winners in the Cactus League. And they came out of spring training feeling they were ready to go. Much different feeling than 2015 as this club. Very solid spring, a lot of good health, and that was the main objective for Jeff Bannister's club. And they certainly maintained that throughout their Arizona campaign. Now, Jeff Bannister, his ball club getting set to take on the Seattle Mariners. And let's go down to the field. Emily Jones is standing by him.
Well, Buzz, as always, so great to be back here at the ballpark. So great to be inside that Rangers clubhouse today. I continued my daily conversations with Jeff Bannister on this opening day. He was very emotional when asked about Tony Beasley being at his side today. Of course, Tony battling cancer, going through chemotherapy throughout spring training. It will continue here in the beginning of the season. We'll share that interview with you a little bit later, but it really contributes to the recurring theme that we kept hearing coming out of Surprise, Arizona, and that was the chemistry of this team. They really bonded together over Tony's diagnosis, and they've continued to do so in many other ways. And it seems like wherever you turned this offseason, this spring training, you've heard about the chemistry of this group. So many of them coming back from last year and feeling the sting of the way that one ended. So it will be fun to watch that unfold, not only here today, but throughout the season. It's great to be back with you guys.
Great to have you back in. Thank you very much. And now we will turn it over to the hard-throwing right-hander, Tom Breve, who has the Mariners lineup today.
Thanks, Buzz. The Mariners will lead off with left fielder Nori Aoki. Ketel Marte is the shortstop. Robinson Cano bats third. Nelson Cruz, cleanup hitter in right field. Kyle Seager at third base bats fifth. The DH is Franklin Gutierrez. Adam Lind will bat seventh. The catcher, Chris Iannetta, bats eighth. And in center field, former Ranger Leonis Martin.
And that Mariner lineup will face the 32-year-old left-hander, and that would be Cole Hamels for the Rangers. Hamels establishing himself as the ace of the Rangers staff. Good preparation his last time out against Kansas City. Had a very solid ball game, and he goes to work. The first pitch of 2016 is in for strike one. Hamels enjoys this. He likes the big stage, does not shy away from it at all. And as always for him, fastball command is a big key. Well, Cole Hamels, who has a 7-game winning streak in a Ranger uniform going, facing Nori Aoki, one of the additions to this Mariner ball club. And they found a leadoff man in Aoki. And Rougned Odor accounts for the first out of the 2016 season. Now let's take a look at the Ranger defense. It's delivered to you this afternoon by DeMontron RV. Now the outfield, the new addition of Ian Desmond in left field. Delano DeShields in center. Shin-Soo is in right. You saw Moreland at first and Odor at second. On the right side, Elvis Andrus and Adrian Beltre on the left side with Robinson Chirinos catching for Cole Hamels. There's Ian Desmond out there. And the first pitch to Ketel Marte, the switch-hitting shortstop, is a bit high for ball one. Marte really filling a need last year for the Seattle Mariners. Came on and assumed the shortstop role. That had been kind of a black hole, at least as for an all-around player for the Mariners for several years. They just couldn't find anybody to really man that position and claim it. And Ketel Marte came over and really took over. He's just 22, but has really proven himself to be a solid major league shortstop. And there's a solid major league shortstop on the Rangers side. Elvis Andrus, 2 gone. Oh, a couple of ground balls, and the middle infielders, Elvis and Rougned Odor, are taking care of that. Next will be Robinson Cano. And I suppose if on opening day you wanted to say the key to the Seattle Mariners this year would be getting Robinson Cano to hit like Robinson Cano instead of what he did the first part of last year. Cano had a terrible start to 2015. Ended up hitting under 240 for the first half of the year. But then the real Robbie Cano came to the fore, and he hit 330 the second half.
Yeah, unfortunately, Buzz, for the Mariners, the damage had already been done halfway through the season, but they really never took advantage of the tremendous year Nelson Cruz had, because Nelson Cruz didn't have a lot of men on base early in the season when he came to the plate.
Hit well to right field. Chu is watching this one go. It is in the seats for a Cano home run, and the Mariners jump out to a 1-0 lead. Well, Robinson Cano gets the Mariners on the board in the first frame of the year, 1-0.
It looked like a high fastball, and a good fastball as far as velocity goes, 94 miles an hour. See where the location was. He's trying to throw it down and away, and unfortunately that pretty much split the middle of the plate. And the difference in location, where it ended up and where Cole wanted to throw it, turned out to be the difference between maybe a called strike, maybe a ball, maybe an out, and what turned out to be a home run.
It looked like one of those dreaded backup cutters.
Yeah, right there.
Hate to throw that thing, especially to a hitter like Cano, but one run on the board for Seattle, and Nelly Cruz going up there hammering at the first pitch, fouled it off. Cruz last year second with 44 home runs. He trailed Chris Davis only in that home run category, a .302 average. Outstanding year for Cruz. He mixed in a 21-game hitting streak, so there was consistency there that I don't think many Ranger fans had the enjoyment of watching. It. Cruz, to me, has gotten to be a better hitter over the last 3 or 4 years than he was consistently here. He's kind of grown into becoming a quality major league hitter.
Yeah, I don't know that he's ever been a 300 hitter till last season. And we saw, I think one of the reasons why, Buzz, is he's able to hit the outside pitch to right field and not try to pull everything. That's made him, hasn't taken anything away from his power. It's made him a much better average hitter. Tougher out now.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Cruz. Hamels back to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Cruz has had pretty good success in a limited number of opportunities against Cole Hamels. Nearly 3 out of 8 against the Ranger left-hander. Got him swinging. Good pitch down and in. And Chirinos will record the out at first. And that'll do it for the Mariners. But Robinson Cano gets the Mariners out in front. His home run. The damage to Cole Hamels. After half inning, Seattle 1. Rangers coming up. Home run, the Mariners out in front. Now Tom's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers batting order.
It definitely has a familiar look to it. Delino DeShields is leading off. Shin-Soo Choo is second. Adrian Beltre is third, followed by the DH Prince Fielder. Mitch Moreland will hit fifth. Ian Desmond in left field bats sixth. Rougned Odor is seventh. Elvis Andrus is eighth. And the catcher, Robinson Chirinos, is ninth.
And Felix Hernandez goes to work with strike one. You know, Felix Hernandez, well, he is the definition of a true ace. He's unbeaten in opening day starts. This is his 9th opening day assignment. He is 6-0. And all of a sudden, Delino DeShields starts things off for the Rangers by getting plunked and taking first base. Well, doing what a leadoff man's supposed to do. Not the ideal way to do it, but he's on base.
Well, you definitely want your speed on the bases for the middle of the lineup. That's a fastball that tailed up and in. Delino backs up a little bit, but I think he was perfectly prepared to take that one for the team by the looks of it. You can't lean into it and get hit by the ball on purpose, but you can do just what Delino did.
Yeah.
If you're willing to take one on the wrist.
Yeah, that's the only bad part. A guy like Hernandez, that ball will take a big chunk out of you real fast. You get it in the wrong spot. Shin-Soo Choo, last year, 22 home runs. That was third on the ball club behind Fielder and Moreland. 82 RBI, also third. And Hernandez going to work on Delino DeShields at first base. Interesting, in the spring, Ian Desmond came over and was talking about being aggressive. And you talked to Rougned Odor and Delino DeShields and asked him about their stolen base proclivity. And both of them gave him the numbers from the year before and said, okay, well, you guys have to get past that. I'm going to give you 25 or so. And I want you guys to add on to that 25. So Ian Desmond right away setting the tone for what he brings to the ball club, and that's the ability to motivate his teammates. Oh, 0-1 the count to Choo. Picked off by Lynn nicely to second for one, back to first, and not in time. Now, there already is a difference that Adam Lind has brought to the Mariners. That is slick fielding first baseman.
Yeah, and that was the kind of ball that it pays to be a left-handed thrower and have the glove on your right hand. Pretty hard hit ball by Choo. Kind of hugs the ground. Lind's able to catch it with the glove on his right hand easily. Not able to turn a double play, but able to keep it from being a first and third situation.
Now, the first baseman they had over there once Justin Smoke went on over to Toronto, had Mark Trumbo and Jesus Montero. Neither one of them noted for their glove work. So Adam Lind, very much an upgrade defensively. Prince Fielder takes strike one. Fielder, the team leader last year, 98 RBI, 23 home runs, tied with Mitch Moreland for the top spot. Hasn't had much luck against Felix Hernandez, but he has a pretty big category, a pretty big following in that category. Shin-Soo Choo putting the Jets on right off the bat, able to swipe his first base.
Yeah, Choo got a good jump on that ball. Even if it was a good pitch to throw on, he had a pretty good chance to steal it.
Oops.
Well, let's see what happened.
Well, that's what Jeff Bannister is going to talk to Jim Joyce about.
Prince might have been off balance. Did he interfere with the throw? It's too bad because the ball was a breaking ball down and in. The catcher had very little chance to catch it and throw out Choo, but let's see.
Yeah,
well, there it is.
Went across
he kind of tripped and went right in front of the catcher. Boy, that's too bad on that one because that didn't make any difference. Choo was going to steal that base no matter what Iannetta was able to do. Certainly not anything intentional. Big jump by Choo. You can see how late the throw was. If there was no hitter there, he couldn't have thrown him out, let alone.
Jeff Bannister explaining that to Jim Joyce said, look, that wasn't going to make any difference, but I guess the rule's the rule. Got to look at the rest of the umpiring crew. Joyce, the crew chief, Marvin Hudson, James Hoy, and Chad Fairchild. First, second, and third are the other arbiters.
And the position that Prince ended up being in, Iannetta really didn't have that much of a problem throwing the ball over him. So Prince backs up, trips. He really is not even in Iannetta's way now. He's past him. He went right in front of him, which maybe threw Iannetta off in his mind, but it didn't affect the throw. And even if Prince wasn't there, Iannetta had no chance to throw Chu out with the jump he had and where that ball was.
And because of that, Prince fielder is called out. Well, Chu had to retrace his steps. Fielder out. It'll go down as a 2 unassisted on the interference. And it brings up Adrian Beltre with 2 outs. That's not a very auspicious start.
No, that's unfortunate, because that was one where the interference had no play in the overall stolen base.
So Chu back to first. Here's Adrian. Beltre, of course, well chronicled as far as his friendship with Felix Hernandez, although it cooled down, at least the antics between the two of them cooled down the last couple of years.
Yeah, the other side of that, Buzz, it's probably not a coincidence that Felix is whatever he is, 5-0 in his last X amount of starts against the Rangers. I think he fell right into Adrian's trap there for a few years.
Yep, I think you're right. And I think Lloyd McClendon, the former manager of the Mariners, said, hey, you might want to change something up.
Yeah, are you looking at the results? Whatever it was, he definitely turned the results around. He was untouchable by for the Rangers last year.
And Scott Service, the new skipper for the Seattle Mariners, I would imagine probably encouraging Felix Hernandez to do the same thing. 3 balls, no strikes. Now we'll see here on opening day if Adrian might have a green light in the first inning. Felix Hernandez, not only is he 6-0 in his now 9 opening day starts, he has a 1.49 ERA. On the outside corner, 3-1. Beltre this spring hit only 225, but he had a couple of home runs and 10 RBIs in just 17 games. Rangers as a team were second in the Cactus League in team batting average, hitting in an even 300. And ball 4. Nope. Yeah. Adrian was going to stay there and have a little conversation with Jim Joyce. He said, I'm through talking to you. Going down to first.
Well, you know, Buzz, we say it all the time that when you've got a tremendous pitcher on the mound and he doesn't have his best stuff early in the game, you hope to get a couple of big hits early and score on him. Right now, I don't think you're looking at Felix Hernandez at his best.
Right.
So it really behooved the Rangers to drive one in the gap right now and pick up a couple of runs before he does kick it in.
Yeah, no surprise Hernandez didn't have a great spring, and very rarely does he at a 4.11 ERA. But you're right, the kind of guy that if you get him on the ropes early and don't get him, you're asking for trouble. You can get him down, or at least maybe even get him out of the game. That's all to your benefit.
And he's a guy over the years whose velocity has dropped from probably the mid-90s when he was young to 90 to 93 now. But that really has very little impact on the results. He knows how to pitch. He's got plenty of pitches other than depending on the velocity of his fastball.
And still not 30 years old. He won't be 30 until next week. Right now he has Chu at second, Beltre at first with 2 outs here in the first inning. Moreland down on the count, 0-2. In the dirt. And Iannetta will make the throw down at first, and that'll do it. So the Rangers get a couple aboard, but strand them. And we'll go to the top of the second inning. It's the Mariners 1, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Now, top of the second inning, Kyle Seager, a Ranger killer, leading things off. And he takes low for ball one. Seager, a .333 lifetime hitter against the Rangers. Last year, he upped that a little bit. Hit .343 against Texas pitching. 18 ball games, and this one to right center field. Carrying well, back is DeShields at the wall, and it is gone. Kyle Seager continuing to blast Ranger pitching, and you kind of hope that the new year would bring something else, and it hasn't as far as Seager is concerned. 2-0 Mariners.
The Mariners have a lineup with 5 left-hand hitters in it. Throughout Hamels' career, lefties and righties are about the same, a little bit below 240, but that's almost the exact same result as Robinson Cano. A fastball that Robinson had the target down and away. The ball never got down and away, caught the middle of the plate both times. One to Robinson Cano and this one to Kyle Seager. You can see Robinson have to lift his glove from where the target was to where the ball ended up. And both times the left-hand hitters got the good part of the bat on it.
Franklin Gutierrez takes a strike. It's 1-1. And one thing too about Kyle Seager, not only does he hit well against the Rangers, he was the best hitting left-handed hitter against left-handed pitching last year in the major leagues.
Wow.
.297 an average. He was much better against left-handers than he was against right-handers.
I think last year was the year he had the big year at home too. He had very good home stats.
Yep.
Which you would think would be just the opposite for a Mariner hitter. Pretty tough park to hit in, but he had no problem.
Gutierrez, the designated hitter for Scott Service this afternoon. And that pitch evens the count now. It's 2-2. Gutierrez finally healthy. I mean, it's been 5 years since Franklin Gutierrez could claim good health all around going into a season. At one time, he was projected to be an outstanding all-star caliber center fielder, but Cole Hamels disposes of him for out number 1. And before Adam Lynn comes up, let's say hello for the first time to Jim Knox. Hello, Knoxy.
I appreciate it, Buzz. What a year, huh? This is going to be great opening day here for the Rangers here at home. We also have a big family tradition from the Lawrence family. Barry, what's this about?
Well, this is our 20th season together as a family. My dad decided to start this tradition whenever I was in the 1st grade. And he created it basically to have all of his boys come home wherever we're at in the country for opening day for the Texas Rangers. And I want to say a personal shout out to my little brother Connor, who's not here. We wish you were, man. Mom's filling in for you.
Mom's pitch in today.
There we go. All right, good to have you out here, Mom. Good to have you. That's right. Go Rangers. Appreciate the Lawrence family having a good time, Buzz.
All right, Knoxy, thank you. Adam Lynn, 32-year-old veteran left-handed hitter, and you already saw him in the field make an outstanding play at first. And he's going to ground out to his counterpart as Mitch Moreland underhand Cole Hamels for out number 2. Well, folks, for this week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Just go to T-Mobile.com/MLB. You can sign up now and catch every moment of America's fastest-growing LTE network. Oh, 2 away. Here's Chris Iannetta, veteran catcher. Iannetta came over as a free agent to the Mariners, and the Mariners struggling last year after Mike Zunino, their star prospect, really struggled offensively. Ended up hitting about 170 for the 2nd year in a row, and they decided that Zunino was going to have to turn things around before he got to the big leagues again. So they went out and got Chris Iannetta, quality major league catcher for the last several years with the LA Angels. Also got Steve Clevenger, kind of a backup catcher with the Cubs for a number of years, Baltimore. So they got a pretty good tandem, veteran-wise, behind the plate. Two and one. One of Cole's main weapons, especially against right-handers, that straight changeup. He has a dandy. Hamels, 32 years old, out of San Diego, California. Cole last year coming over in that trade deadline deal with the Phillies. He and Jake Diekman came over and played huge roles down the stretch for the Rangers. What a turning point it was that last couple of days of July last year for the Texas Ball Club. You had Diekman, Hamels, and also Sam Dyson. John Daniels, the Rangers president, general manager, using some of the excess talent that was available at the minor league level, was able to encourage the trade for those three players, and they all had huge roles with the Ranger push to the division. And Iannetta, as he is wont to do, able to draw the 2-out walk. He is aboard, and Leonys Martin coming up.
Yeah, Iannetta has never been much of an average hitter, but he has been a hitter that has been patient and has the ability to take a walk. Last year he hit below 200. But he's not a guy that goes up there and swings at a lot of bad pitches. He'll take a walk if you don't throw him strikes.
Iannetta at first now. Leonys Martin in his first at bat in a visitor's uniform in this ballpark. And Hamels knocks off the outside corner for strike one. Leonys came over to Seattle in the offseason. He and Anthony Bass were sent to Seattle in exchange for Tom Wilhelmsen and James Jones. This time last year, Leonys Martin settled into center field for the Rangers. It looked like he was the fixture out there in center the Rangers were looking for, and that didn't pan out too well. He fell on hard times, was injured in the first week in May, and Delano DeShields took over at that point. There goes Iannetta, and Chirino's able to gun him down from here to Grand Prairie. Well, that'll do it, but the Mariners get a leadoff solo home run from Kyle Seager on to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Seattle. Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. A great afternoon out here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Beautiful sunshiny skies, about 85 degrees as we play here in mid-afternoon on April the 4th. First ball swinging, Ian Desmond grounds out to Robinson Cano, so didn't even get a chance to talk about Ian Desmond in his first Rangers at bat, but he grounds out sharply for out number 1. It suffices to say that Ian Desmond has had a huge impact on the ball club in a very short period of time. Very much a gamer and very much a guy that puts winning ahead of all else at the major league level. Very well respected in that Ranger clubhouse, as he was in his first 6 years in the major leagues. Rougned Odor takes a pitch in at the knees. He wasn't real thrilled about that James Joyce call, but it is strike 1. Odor last year, 261. That doesn't tell anywhere near the whole story. You'll remember Rougned through the month of April hitting 144, and he was sent down to AAA to get his edge back, the way Jeff Bannister put it. And Odor, instead of going down to the minor leagues and feeling sorry for himself and whatever else you might feel, really turned it around. He got back to being the aggressive player that the Rangers knew they had and really needed. Jeff Bannister said one of the neat things was to see a young man with the inexperience of Rougned Odor turn things around for himself. Those are golden moments for him. 2 gone as Odor grounds out to his counterpart. Next will be Elvis Andrus. Elvis last year, also one of the Rangers that got off to a very slow start, ended up at 258, a career high tying 7 home runs and 62 RBI. One of the guys, one of the very few that has had good success against Felix Hernandez, 295 now, and up until midway through last year, it was over a 300 average against Hernandez. Not many guys can say they wear out Felix Hernandez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Elvis has kind of made a habit of taking good pitchers and giving them a real tough time. Remember Jared Weaver and Justin Verlander, he had great numbers against when they were as tough to hit as anybody. 1-2. Take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard fact for you, talking about Elvis. Begins the 2016 season, longest active tenured Ranger position player since making his major league debut on opening day in 2009. 2-2. But do not call him veteran. He doesn't like that. So we'll refrain from saying that. Hernandez back to the plate. And a full count. A pair of Venezuelan natives facing each other, and the count has gone full. If Elvis reaches to extend this second inning, Robinson Chirinos will follow in the order. Ball 4. Elvis able to work that walk, and he is aboard for Chirinos. And let's quickly check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, you guys were talking about Elvis's success against Felix Hernandez, and to the surprise of no one, Elvis is well aware of that success. I was talking to him in the dugout before today's game, asking him about facing Felix, and he said, man, I love to face Felix. And I said, why? And he said, I've got the most RBI against anybody, more RBI against him than anybody else. So he was quick to spout off his stats against Felix Hernandez today before the game.
Yeah, and who says guys don't pay attention to stuff like that? He could probably, if you want to get right down to it, he could probably tell you the counts and what he hit each time off of Felix, too. Chirinos, two-hopper to Seager. And that'll do it. Rangers get a runner on a walk, but Strand Elvis will go to the third inning at Globe Life Park. It's the Mariners 2, the Rangers nothing on opening day on Fox Sports Southwest. Folks, you can follow Rangers baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and a whole lot more. Just download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Leonis Martin, who was left at the plate last inning, grounds out to Rougned Odor to start the third inning for Seattle. And before Nori Aoki comes up, let's send it over to John Radigan for a Chevy game break. All right, John, thank you. Here the Mariners on top of the Rangers 2-0. Norichika Aoki grounded out to second base to start the proceedings here this afternoon. 2 balls and no strikes. Aoki has been around a bit the last several years. Started out with Milwaukee, went to Kansas City, and then to San Francisco. Off the fist, a belt high liner to Adrian.
Looked like a changeup. Adrian could have caught that thing barehanded. That ball hit about 2 inches above Aoki's fists, it looked like. Definitely trying to slice one that way. That ball, he hit that thing so softly, I don't think it even broke the bat.
I think you're right.
Man. Aoki a lot like Martin for the Mariners. They wanted to improve their outfield defense. They've got 2 guys that they feel will definitely do that. It doesn't matter how much either one of them is going to hit. Aoki hit for a little bit of average, but without much production.
Ketel Marte up the middle. Elvis, a 360, fires and gets it. Elvis Andrus, and if there is any question about Elvis, forget about it. He is back to 100% with plays like this. 3 up, 3 down, on to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Seattle on Fox Sports Southwest. Tomorrow is the first chance to take advantage of the brand new $10 Tuesday special. Tickets for most Tuesday home games at select seating sections are just $10. And fans in those seating sections can add on a meal deal for $10 when purchasing online. Plus, all fans on Tuesday will receive $10 parking. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to secure your $10 Tuesday tickets for opening night. That is tomorrow night, April the 5th. Now Delino up for the second time, leading off here in the Ranger third, and takes a strike at the knees. Delino plunked by a King Felix fastball his first time up. Now the on-base percentage at 1,000. 2-1. Yeah, Delino, despite all the questions about could he do this, could he do that, I think answered virtually every question that the folks outside the ball club might have had about him. The right field hit pretty well. That chases Cruz back. 1 out. And Delino ended up having a 344 on base percentage. There is a huge snack for you. That's part of the new fare, the Tanako.
If you don't like the Tanako, you can eat the bat that's right next to it. You have your choice, whichever one you want.
You got the Chumongous.
I like that, whatever they call it, the one with 5 different kinds of pork that had the picture of Evan Grant taking a giant bite out of it in the paper. That thing looked unbelievable. Sausage, bacon, you name it, it was in there. He said it was good too.
I thought you were referring to Evan looking like the
sandwich?
Yeah.
No, you know, he was eating the sandwich. You eat enough of them, you might look like it. That's a definite challenge, though. We'll probably hear sometime in April about a couple of the fans that came out and ate the whole thing themselves. That guy's going for it.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone else helping him.
How long did it take before we had a boomstick eater take down the whole thing?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't very long,
they say it's like The boomstick, I think, was 5 jumbo hot dogs. That's
Was
how
it?
big. That's how big equivalent. And came with your own individual piece of luggage to hold it in.
June is 2 opening days for the Rangers, and the third one here this afternoon. 0 for 7 with a walk. Full count. Well, Felix has not exactly been pinpoint, as Shin-Soo Choo would attest on that pitch. A couple of walks for Hernandez already this afternoon, plus a hit batter, but Rangers still looking for their first hit. Aoki for out number 2. Now Prince Fielder coming up. Fielder was called out on batter interference when he interfered with a throw from Chris Iannetta to second base. He went down as unassisted put out for Iannetta. So Prince 0 for 1. How about having the 3rd highest on base percentage among active players with at least 300 career home runs? That's a pretty select list. Albert Pujols is right above Prince Fielder on that list, and Miguel Cabrera, as you would figure, right at the top. Boy, Prince airing it out, came up empty. 2-1. It's like the power changeup from Felix.
Yeah, the power changeup is almost like a 2-seam fastball, really. It has incredible movement on it.
2-2.
You can see the kind of pitches and movement, the curveball, all the different pitches that he has. That's why we say it makes no difference whether he's throwing 95 or 91. The quality of his other pitches makes it insignificant, really.
Got him swinging. Went up the ladder, and boy, Prince saw a little bit of everything. Felix Hernandez gets his 2nd strikeout. Rangers, for the first time, gone in order. To the 4th we go. Seattle by 2. Yeah, part of the sellout crowd here this afternoon at Globe Life Park. Mariners have done all the damage offensively this afternoon. They lead 2-0 on a pair of solo home runs. The man who had the first one standing at home plate now, Robinson Cano. And Cole Hamels deals strike one. That was where Hamels was trying to get that first fastball that Cano hit out of the ballpark.
Yeah, we've talked about both pitches that were hit out were pitches where he was trying to throw there that came out over the plate. And you know, I don't care who the pitcher is in the course of a game. You throw 100 pitches, you've got to be almost perfect to hit your spot every time you want to hit your spot. The thing is, in the course of a game, when you miss your spot and it's popped up or grounded out, we don't say anything.
Right.
That's just an out.
Yep.
But when it's hit out of the ballpark, we show the replay and show the pitch and how it missed the spot and it was hit out of the ballpark. But hitters, they're great in the big leagues, but they're not good enough to hit that ball out of the ballpark every time the pitcher misses his spot and he throws a pitch down the middle. There's plenty of pitches down the middle in the course of a game that are popped up or swung and missed at. We've just happened. We've happened to see a couple today that they took advantage of.
Yeah, your chance of throwing one down the middle and getting it popped up is greatly decreased when you do it against Cano.
Yeah, that doesn't help. and Seager, for that matter, against the Rangers anyway.
In this ballpark especially.
No, Seager in 4 years has been very consistent. He's a .263 hitter, and that's about what he hits every year. So while he's a very good hitter, he averages 23 home runs. I mean, everybody would love to have him. It's not like the guy is hitting .350 with 40 home runs.
Right.
He just seems like he does more damage and does against the Rangers than anybody else.
Yeah, if he's hitting .263 over the course of a year, he's hitting .400 against the Rangers.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are getting him out.
Yeah, he's hitting .250 or .240 against everybody else.
3-0 to Nelly Cruz. Now 3-1. Cruz went down swinging his first time up. And Cruz would be a guy that falls in that category too. I wouldn't try to live in the middle of the plate against him. Pretty good pitch there. Make it 3-2. And number 5 on your pitch tracker. Catching the knees on the inside corner. That pitch tracker, by the way, brought to you by Steel. .47 pitches now for Cole Hamels. Nelly Cruz getting the start in right field. Well, pretty much split time between right field and the DH spot, just about evenly. At least that's the plan. And Nelly Cruz last year hit significantly better when he was playing in the field than he did as a full-time DH. Payoff pitch. Lost him. Cruz able to check his swing, and that is the first walk of the afternoon. Second walk of the afternoon, excuse me. And before Kyle Seager comes up, let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, as you and Tom well know, Tony Beasley, the third base coach for the Rangers, diagnosed with stage 2 rectal cancer in the offseason. He began that treatment in Arizona over spring training, was able to come back here for opening day, and Jeff Bannister said he was happy to have his buddy by his side today.
You know, one of the first things that he did this morning was, you know, walk through the doors. Hey, we're going to make a walk. So yeah, because we, you know, every day we go out and walk. It's kind of our time together. So yeah, special day.
So Jeff and Tony able to keep with their routine today. I know it meant a lot to both of those gentlemen. Tony will go back to Arizona to finish up chemotherapy later this week. Then he will be assessed at MD Anderson in Houston to figure out where the plan is to go from there. But a total inspiration to this entire team. And if you talk to any of these guys, they'll tell you just how much of an impact Tony Beasley's presence had on them in spring training, has had on them here in Arlington, and that will continue, no doubt, throughout the season, fellas.
Good point, Sam. And I think if you talk to each player, they would say that Tony Beasley has the complete support, 100% support from everybody in that Ranger ball club and everybody in the Ranger front office, and anybody that knows Tony Beasley could not help but wish him the very best, and thoughts and prayers out to him. And what a great guy. I talked to Jeff Bannister about him in spring training a bit, and said, is there ever a time that he doesn't have a smile on his face? And Jeff kind of said, no, I don't think so. Seager gone on strike, so that is out number 2 with Cruz still at first and Franklin Gutierrez coming up.
A pretty nice curveball that Cole dropped to strike Seager out with. Both Seager and Cano saw entirely different pitches that time. They didn't get the fastballs to hit. Cano got the fastball down and away and barely tapped it to shortstop. There's Tony Beasley on the bench, inspiring his teammates. And then Kyle Seager, instead of that fastball, got a great curveball down and swung and missed at it. And a good changeup.
Well, Franklin Gutierrez went down swinging his first time up. Finds himself down at the count, 0-1.
Gutierrez came back after the injuries you were talking about, Buzz. He had about 170 at bats last year is all and hit 15 home runs. So he was a force when he came back last year. At least one of those against the Rangers,
yep.
I remember.
Yeah, he was a big part of that that offense that went from scoring about 3.5 runs a game to better than 5 runs a game when they got things back together. And Edgar Martinez given a lot of credit for that turnaround too. I don't think it's any accident that when he took over as hitting coach that they started getting better.
Yeah.
He has that.
Now you can pretty much look at that point in time on the calendar and see what happened after it. So if he's not responsible for it, it's just a coincidence, I guess. But that's when it started.
Gutierrez nicked by that pitch on the left arm. And that puts runners at first and second for Adam Lind. On the leg, excuse me.
Boy, he might not even have felt that. You can definitely see it, though.
Yep.
The Mariners were good against the Rangers last year. They won 12 out of the 19 games.
And that was the first time in 7 years the Rangers had a losing season series against them. But it happened. Lind, a ground ball to first, his first time up. Yeah, I think the Rangers had the bad fortune of catching the Mariners late in the year when they had gotten things together too. So much depends on when you play a club as to how you fare against them. The Rangers just happened to catch Seattle after they'd gotten their offensive act together. Last 3 seasons, you look at Seattle and 5th in home runs. That's been the one bright spot offensively. On base percentage, runners in scoring position, runs per game, down among the worst in baseball, or the lowest in baseball. Yeah, that was one thing that Jerry Dipoto, the new general manager, said to Scott Service when he hired him as manager. Said we're gonna do enough things to get the offense back to where it can be productive. Tim Bogart, former Ranger coach, now the bench coach for Service.
A good curveball today.
Couple of strikeouts, yes. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, 2 left aboard after 3.5. Mariners 2, Rangers nothing. Fox Sports Southwest. Fans, the Rangers and Mariners wrap up this series on Wednesday afternoon. That's a 1:05 first pitch. You can enjoy 50% off tickets in the corner box, upper box, and upper reserve seating areas. Or you get $34 tickets in the Cholula all-you-can-eat portion. All that's courtesy of 1080 KRLD. Get your discounted tickets at TexasRangers.com/specials using the online coupon code KRLD Matinee. Adrian Beltre leading things off and takes a knee-high strike from Felix Hernandez. Beltre drew a walk back in the first inning. 18 home runs, 83 RBI for Adrian, and that despite numerous injuries. He's had one stint on the disabled list, but for quite a bit of the year with that thumb and the hamstring, he was not anywhere close to 100%, and yet he was out there daily. And his statistics fell off primarily because of that. He was playing one-legged for a lot of the time and then one-handed for a lot of the time. Sharply hit, but right at Marte, the shortstop.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Next will be Mitch Moreland. You talk to a lot of Adrian's teammates too, and they, to a man, tell you what kind of an inspiration Beltre was. Mitch was one of the guys that said, hey, you know, I had some aches and pains, but when you see Adrian go out there knowing what he was battling, said, I'm a little embarrassed to say I can't go out there and play if I have to just be taped up some extra. Nothing in one to Mitch. Morgan, a strikeout that ended the Ranger first. Rangers still looking for their first base hit. They've had several base runners. They've stranded 3. Had a couple of walks, a hit batter. Mariners in an exaggerated overshift. 3 players on the right side of the infield. Seager, the third baseman, playing in the shortstop hole. So this is one of the kinds of shifts that just go ahead and move everybody around. You see so many today that now that shifting has gotten so commonplace, where you take the third baseman and move him out into shallow right center field. Let the shortstop stay in his natural position, but I guess the Mariners figured that Seager's a good enough infielder to stay on that side of the infield. He'd be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, if you're a left-hand hitter against Felix Hernandez and they put this kind of shift on, that's when you say to yourself, I'm glad I've been practicing my bunting, because you get yourself an easy base hit.
Ripped up the alley, but it hangs up for Leonis Martin. 2 gone. It looked better coming off the bat than it was. Mitch must have gotten that off the good part of the bat somewhere.
Yeah, it didn't sound good. It really didn't carry well, but it didn't look like it got a terrible part of the bat. Not sure exactly what happened on that one.
2 up, 2 away. Hernandez now has retired 6 straight.
Been a little bit toward the end of the bat.
Ian Desmond takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Take a look at our TXU Energy Power Player to Watch. That would be Ian Desmond. How about the 2012 National League All-Star, a 3-time Silver Slugger Award winner as shortstop this spring. Very good spring. 326, 889 on base plus slugging. And as we talked about, Ian Desmond very much a leader in that clubhouse. First thing that he said when he was introduced to the Ranger media was, he said, I'm here to win. And he said, that's the only thing that makes any difference to me. And he said, I was able to choose the Rangers, and they chose me, but that's the main focus. Barehanded, and Felix gets Desmond. Desmond complaining that Adam Lynn was off the base, but he didn't get the call. It's another 1-2-3 inning. So after 4, the Mariners lead the Rangers 2-0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Globe Life Park in Arlington, opening day 2016. And Chris Iannetta opening up the 5th inning against Cole Hamels. Iannetta drew a walk in the 2nd inning with 2 outs. Iannetta, the 8th place hitter, to be followed by Leonis Martin, and then back to the top of the order. Off the fist to the right side by the dive of Rougned Odor, and Iannetta has himself a single. That is just the 3rd hit of the afternoon. Let's head over to Jim Knox. Jim?
Oh, I appreciate it, Buzz. I tell you what is this? It's a family affair here. Roger Staubach here. What do we have? The grandkids, your son, your daughter? You have everybody here today.
We actually have kids, grandkids. And what's that other term? Is it called great grandkids? We got 2 great grandsons here. Yeah,
that's unbelievable. Now, a lot of people aren't aware of this.
Make it around for great grandkids, but we got 2 great grandsons.
Roger, the way you're looking nowadays, yeah, for sure. Now, a lot of people aren't aware of this, but after you played football at Navy, you actually were the captain of the Navy baseball team in 1965, correct?
Yeah, I played baseball from the age of 7 all the way through college. Yeah, I played 4 years at Navy in baseball, and I love baseball. I grew up with the Cincinnati Reds, Crosley Field, Ted Kozuski, Johnny Temple, Roy McMillan, Ray Jablonski, Gus Bell, Wally Post, Jim Greengrass, Andy Semenick, all those guys. Great, Joe Nuxall.
Yeah.
And then Frank Robinson came in, Vada Pinson. So I grew up with Cincinnati baseball and played at Navy, and now I'm a Ranger fan.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, Roger also played center field and hit .420. Pretty good hitter.
That was my sophomore year. My junior or my senior, I hit about 330 or something, but sophomore year, everything fell in, you know. It's one of those years where everything you hit just seemed like it found an open hole there somewhere. Yeah?
I think the football career turned out pretty good then, huh? No baseball aspirations or anything?
Well, 4 years in the Navy would have been difficult, I think, to come. I would have given baseball a try if I knew I had a chance for football. I would have tried baseball, but I took to football, and I made the right decision, I think, picking football. So.
Yeah, yes, you did. All right, Roger, we'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of opening day. Good to see you. Appreciate it.
It's great seeing you.
Good seeing you, Buzz.
All right, Doxy, nice going.
That's a beautiful family right there.
That's a great clan. Sure appreciate Roger coming out. That's outstanding. They must have gotten the book on Staubach after his junior year or sophomore year. So, yeah, we figured him out.
Yeah, he started to make a curve a little bit. He's hitting the fastball. They said, you better start making that thing have a little bit of a wrinkle to it. I've seen Roger out here throwing out the first pitch and looked like he could have been a pitcher if he wanted to. He went right to the top of the mound and threw it about 70 miles an hour the day I saw him. Stories about him are pretty legendary with the full court basketball in his backyard and probably still playing that.
Yeah, probably. In great shape. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Aoki. Aoki 0 for 2, a ground out and a soft line drive to Adrian Beltre. Iannetta, the runner at first, with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Our steel pitch tracker showing you Cole Hamels working down in that strike zone. That's been much improved the last several innings. And really, you go back just the 2 pitches, one to Cano and 1 to Seager. Other than that,
there hasn't been anything other than those 2 pitches.
No. Check swing on the pitch inside. 2-1. Hamels making his 3rd opening day start. He had 2 of them with the Phillies and still looking for his first opening day win. 2-2. Quite a contrast between Hamels and Felix Hernandez, our Kubota power stats. As we're talking about strikeouts, 215 strikeouts last year for Cole Hamels. One of just 7 major league pitchers with 200 or more in at least 4 of the last 6 seasons. Aoki able to check his swing, and the count now is full. Aoki, the leadoff hitter for Seattle, to be followed by Ketel Marte. By the mound, Odor turns it into an easy double play as Iannetta runs right into him and says, okay, you got 2. A 4-3 double play, and that takes care of the Mariners. No runs, a hit, nobody left. Halfway through the ball game at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Seattle leading 2-0. News for you. You can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and watch the live stream. Now you can take the Rangers with you wherever you go. Rougned Odor, bottom third of the Rangers order to face Felix Hernandez here in the 5th inning. Odor grounded to his counterpart, Robinson Cano. First time up. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, the Rangers have had 2 walks, a hit batter. That's been it. They have not had a base hit against Hernandez through the first 4 innings. Three-0. And Felix, even though the pitch count not up there very high, it looks like he might have a little trouble coming out and getting himself loose as the game wears on. Sometimes that happens to the starting pitchers, especially. The up and down part of being a starting pitcher sometimes is the last thing to get into shape. You don't think about it very much, but all of a sudden you go out and get into the 4th or 5th inning like Felix has, and your legs just don't feel the same. Your arm's not popping. You miss inside for ball 4 to walk the leadoff man, and that's something that Felix Hernandez was dead set against, but it happened. Well, that breaks a string of 7 straight that Hernandez had retired. 3rd walk of the afternoon. Now here's Elvis.
Well, not much going offensively yet for the Rangers, but you've got a man at first base with pretty good speed, a man at the plate that can bunt, he can swing the bat, use the opposite field, hit and run. A lot of chances here to utilize the talents of the guys at bat and on the base.
And he's had good luck against Felix Hernandez over the years. Elvis drew a walk his first time to the plate. Odor on the move. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw is high, and Rougned swipes second. And Chris Iannetta has to be saying, I've seen this before. When he was with the Angels, the Rangers started running when they came into the stadium, and there wasn't anything they could do about it. Odor able to get in under the tag.
I would say one thing the runners are going to be doing this year, Buzz, is on that kind of play, they're going to concentrate on keeping their hand on the base.
Yeah.
We saw that a lot last year where the man was obviously safe, but the fielder kept the glove on the runner, and then eventually something came off the base. You see his hand is on the base, the foot is on the base, nothing's coming off the base. So I'd have to think that the base stealers, base runners are keeping that in mind with instant replay now. Something you could never, the naked eye can't see it.
Right.
And it doesn't look like they're off the base, and then you watch the replay and go, whoa, he was off the base for a split second while the glove was on his body. You have to be careful of that this year.
Yeah, one other thing on that tag play, now you have to have the entire glove on him, or more of the glove on him. Used to be if you had the laces on him, it would be an out.
That's
but now
not enough now.
Now the ruling has been clarified to where you have to have the glove itself touching the runner. This is one of the things that Major League Baseball has done to kind of clarify things with instant replay, with the replay option, where there's so many little things, like you're saying, Tom, you couldn't pick it up with your naked eye at all.
No. You see a play like that and you go, he was safe by a mile, and he was, but there's a number of cases where while he slid over the bag, his whole body was not on the bag at the same time for just a split second. It does show up in replay.
Now the 2-1. Slowly hit to third. Seager boots the ball as he was trying to see where Odor was, and everybody's safe.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Odor went running by him, and I think Seager tried to sense. We'll take a look at the replay and see what maybe you could catch it and tag him. Or maybe he was just distracted. Whatever. A guy who's a very solid third baseman had an easy play and wasn't able to make it. You see Seager, yeah, he's definitely looking to tag Odor. I don't know if he would have been able to or not, but watch his head right here. He's looking toward Odor, assuming he was going to catch that easy hop.
So, Rangers, the beneficiaries of the error charged to Kyle Seager. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Robinson Chirinos at the plate. Rangers making noise with 2 aboard for the first time today.
Now that's pretty aggressive base running, generally speaking, when you're on second. And when there's nobody out and you're on second, you're not going to go on a ground ball hit to the left side of the infield. Now, that was not a hard hit ball. Odor had a good lead and a good jump, and he made the decision. Doesn't matter if it's on the left side. I'm going to be able to get by him anyway. Might have been, probably would have been able to.
Chirinos, a ground ball to third, his first time. There goes Elvis. The bunt is down, and Felix will field it, go to first for the out.
Yeah, something was missed there.
Yeah. I don't think the Rangers are going to run a bunt and run with
that was either a hit and run or a squeeze play, I think. Not sure exactly, but you're right. With a runner running at first, you probably wouldn't be bunting right there.
No, it'll go down as a sacrifice for Robinson Chirinos.
Difference being, if you're not running, you see the bunt on a sacrifice bunt and you get to second base. If you are running and it's popped up, it's going to be a double play. So very seldom would you see the runner running and the sacrifice bunt after it.
Well, second and third now with 1 out. To the top of the order for Delino to Shields, who is 0 for 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The Shields hit by a pitch in the first, a fly ball to right in the third. Rangers have had a walk, a stolen base, an error, and a sacrifice bunt. Again, still looking for their first hit against Felix Hernandez today. Two and nothing.
Well, it'd be a perfect spot for the Rangers to bloop their first hit of the day in with men at second and third. First great opportunity the Rangers have had. Although they had a couple men on in the first inning, I guess, first and second, but that was with 2 outs. Now it's second and third with 1 out.
Odor at third, Andrus at second. Saw the Mariner infield playing back. They will give up the run for the out. 3 balls and no strikes. Felix working himself into a little bit of a hole here. You got DeShields, the #1 hitter at the plate. Shin-Soo Choo, the right fielder, back second. He's in the on-deck circle. Crowd coming to life a bit. Ball 4. That'll load him up for Choo.
Well, from Hernandez's point of view, it does give the Mariners an opportunity to turn a double play now with 1 out. But you bring up a pretty good hitter, left-hand hitter now, and Shin-Soo Choo can do some damage.
New pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out to the mound, and he's on the clock. Any visits to the mound this year have a 30-second time limit.
Well, that's a great innovation.
Yeah.
Nothing more irritating than a pitching coach walking out to the mound and staying out there until the umpire goes out to break it up.
Yeah, that's going to speed up play.
That's good.
In most ball games by quite a bit, I think.
Yep.
What would you figure?
Nobody likes that. The pitcher that's out there doesn't want the guy there.
No.
The fans don't want to see it. The players out on the field don't want to see it. I know the announcers don't want to see it. It doesn't serve anybody. So get them out of there after 30 seconds.
Here is Shin-Soo Choo as the Choo chant goes up, and he takes low and in for ball 1. Nice stop by Iannetta.
Choo's a good guy to have up there in this situation. First game of the season, everybody's amped up, everybody's anxious, but Choo's a patient hitter. And if Hernandez doesn't throw him a strike, chances are Choo will take the pitch and take the ball.
Got Odor at third, Andrus at second. Delino to Shields at first. Looks like a cut fastball or maybe a hard slider that got in on Choo.
Good pitch.
1-1.
Having trouble throwing strikes, hitters count. Oh, yeah, he runs that cut fastball right in on the fist. Perfect pitch. But from Shin-Soo's point of view, it wasn't a problem because he fouled it off and didn't put it in play.
Yeah.
If he put it in play, it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Going outside.
Another example. Tempting pitch, off-speed pitch. True eyeballed it.
Chu came into play today with a .244 career average against Felix Hernandez. Inside, 3 balls and a strike. Same pitch that Chu fouled off, and he wouldn't offer it that one. So now, Felix Hernandez really in a pickle. 3 balls and a strike. Almost an even strike and ball ratio, and that's very unusual for Felix Hernandez. Got the bases full and 1 out. Chu at the plate, fielder in the on-deck circle. Ball 4, that walks in a run.
Well, I don't think we've ever seen, even when Rangers have had good days against Felix, it hasn't been this. It's been that they hit him. But in his last X amount of starts, he's 5-0 with an ERA under 2. And an inning like this, I don't think we've ever seen it before. 3 walks in 1 inning.
No, you're right. It's been a key base hit here and there from the Rangers, and they typically would bunch them together, from what I remember against them. So a run across, bases still full. Here's Prince Fielder, who is 0 for 2. Left center field, Aoki coming on, still coming, the ball fall. Well, there's your bloop hit for the first one of the afternoon, Tom, and it creates a run. And we have a brand new ball game as Prince Fielder drives in his first run of the year. It's 2-2.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but after 3 walks, that's all it takes is a little blooper to bring in a run. And the Rangers will take it.
The Ranger bench able to clap their hands for the first time this afternoon, applauding a base hit. Bases still loaded, still just 1 out. Here is Adrian Beltre, who has walked and grounded out. Double play ground balls off Marte. Everybody's going to be safe. In to score to Shields. The Rangers lead it 3-2.
Boy, you talk about a nightmare of an inning for the Mariners. 3 walks, a blooper, and 2 routine ground balls turned into errors. 1 by the third baseman, 1 by the shortstop. That's a 2-2 ball game, a routine double play ground ball, and Marte booted it. You couldn't ask for an easier ball to turn than that. I don't know if he got distracted by the runner, but it takes a little hop, kicks off the heel of his glove, and they're still loaded.
After watching that, you would say, if we were in spring training, well, it's the hard infields and we didn't get the true hop, but you can't say that here.
No.
The Rangers still with the bases full. They have gained the advantage on Felix Hernandez and the Mariners 3-2. Mitch Moreland, who has 1 grand slam to his career log, is at the plate. Moreland today is lined to center, struck out. Chu, Fielder, and Beltre. Third, second, and first. And Mitch out in front. That actually should be 2 career grand slams because 1 he hit and it didn't count. Hit 1 here up. Gio Gonzalez.
That's right. That's
of Oakland.
Right. Remember that got rained out.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitch had 3 spring training home runs, and Scott Service very well aware of the predicament that Felix Hernandez is in right now. Mitch trying to bust this game open, or at least this inning. Now time called. inning by inning. Felix Hernandez seemingly in pretty good control until this one. 23 pitches and still just one out. The defense has betrayed him. His control has betrayed him. Mitch had a real good hack at that fastball.
Yeah, that's a ball that he was, if he squared it up, we would have lined that in the left center field. Good pitch to hit. Now he's got to be careful on that hard breaking ball to be able to lay off it. There's a high fastball out over the plate. Mitch has excellent power the other way. Do what you can to make some contact right here.
A ball and 2 strikes. Got him swinging. And that is out number 2. Well, there's that hard breaking ball you were talking about, Tom. And it's the go-to pitch for Felix Hernandez today. And before Desmond comes in, let's send it over to John Radigan for a Chevy game break. Thank you, John. Bombs away in Milwaukee. Ian Desmond 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs. On the right side and just foul. Desmond loves to swing at that first pitch. He goes up there looking for a fastball, hunting fastballs, as Jeff Bannister would say. And if he gets it, he's having a rip at it.
Yeah, he's one of those slashing line drive hitters that uses the whole field, foul line to foul line.
Hector Ortiz, the Rangers' first base coach, would prefer that he send one into fair territory. To third and foul. The count moves to 0-2. Talk about Ian Desmond falling off last year, and it wasn't that bad statistically compared to what he had set the bar at, a .233 average with the Nationals. 19 home runs, 62 RBI.
Yeah, if you get your shortstop to hit 19 and knock in 62, you'll take that.
I would think a lot of guys would be very happy with that. It's not a fall off year. 1-2. Mike Montgomery, the left-hander, loosening in that Seattle bullpen. Rangers with 3 walks and 2 errors in the inning and 1 big base hit. They'll put 3 on the board. Desmond looking to add more as he has the bases full of Ranger teammates. Got him swinging. 2 strikeouts in a row for Felix Hernandez. That puts the Rangers out in the 5th, but 3 runs on 1 hit and 3 left. On to the 6th in Arlington. 3-2 Texas. Folks, the first 3 games of the battle for the Silver Boot resumes April 19th through the 21st. Astros come here to town. The Rangers will take them on. You wear your red and enjoy a great promotion or giveaway each night. It's all sponsored by the Texas Lottery. Visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS for details. Sixth inning gets underway. Ketel Marte shoots one to the right side, but right at Rougned Odor, and very quickly one away.
That's big out right there for Cole. Get the leadoff hitter because you've got Cano, Cruz, and Seager coming up. 3 key guys in the lineup. You don't want Ketel Marte to get on base with his speed to maybe start a big inning. Get that leadoff hitter and go to work on the rest of them.
Oh, and you're right, Tom. That's so important when you have guys in the middle that can do damage like the 3 you mentioned, Cano and Cruz and Seager. If you can face them with the bases empty, you've got a much better chance. And that is out number 2 as Cano up there first ball swinging. So Hamels very efficient here to get things underway in the 6th inning. Or sometimes that's easier said than done to keep the guys off base, but
well, they're still big league hitters. They can get a base hit against you. But he made a good pitch and got him. You get Nelly Cruz with 2 outs, nobody on. Be careful to him.
And Cruz elected to receive the walk last time up. Wooden offered a couple of close pitches from Hamels. Cole pouring in that fastball.
See, now there's what we're talking about.
Right in the
there's
middle.
a fastball right down the middle of the plate. He didn't swing at it. There's another one. He didn't think he was going to get 2 in a row. So earlier in the game, there was a couple there that were hit for home runs. There's 2. There were 2 strikes.
I call that a hitter outdumbing himself. That's not a reflection on Nelly. You outthink yourself into being a dumb hitter when you do that.
The only thing better than that is if he throws him 1 more and he takes 3 in a row right there. I'm not advocating that plan, though.
Well, he tried to go upstairs a little bit with it, and Cruz wouldn't offer. Cruz, along with a walk last time, struck out back in the first. Cole Hamels, 74 pitches, and he has really turned things toward the positive. Got him swing up out there.
Fooled him a little bit. Looked like a changeup, something off speed. Able to hang in there, though. Changeup.
Almost had some cutting action going on. Must have gotten off the side of it a little bit.
Pretty good pitch count for Cole. 75 pitches. Got a quick out here. Hopefully.
A ball and 2 strikes. Elvis backs up with a big hop. And the throw pulls Moreland off the bag, and Cruz is safe. Well, Elvis got underneath one, had it sail on him a little bit. And that is the first Ranger error of the afternoon.
And that's why you hustle and run out every play on a routine ground ball. You hit that ball, you're pretty much 100% sure you're going to be out. But to Nelly's credit, he's hustling all the way, and he gets there before the tag.
No, Cruz now at first with 2 outs. Kyle Seager. A home run and a strikeout. Well, I guess the definition of from the penthouse to the basement. And Seager takes one at the knees for strike 1. The home run by Kyle Seager, his first against Cole Hamels. And he chops that one foul, so Hamels now out in front of the count once again.
Net guy down there fanned on that one. Had a routine play. That goes to show you how hard it is to field a ground ball in the big leagues. That guy couldn't even field one with a net.
Our steel pitch tracker showing you the location of the 2 pitches. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Kyle Seager has had an increase in home runs in each of his big league seasons. Mentioned effectiveness against left-handed pitchers, and the 13 home runs that Seager had last year, the second most of any left-handed batter. That's by Chirinos all the way to the backstop, and Cruz will move into second. Cole Hamels not particularly thrilled with the outcome of that pitch.
Robinson anticipated a little hop, and it just skipped. Punched the ground and went right underneath his glove.
Another wild pitch now. Cruz in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Poked the other way, and that is just foul.
I thought that was a fair ball from this angle.
I did too.
I guess the other thing is you assume if Seager hits it, it is going to be a fair ball and a hit. A good pitch by Cole. Looked like a cut fastball going away from him. Seager's reaching for it, put it in play, but it stayed foul, slice foul.
$11 RBI last year for Seager. He has 1 today. Got him swinging. Hamels with his 6th strikeout of the afternoon as he sends Seager packing. No runs, no hits, an error. 1 man left after 5.5. Rangers 3, Mariners 2. Time now for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $100 and a dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Barbara Legg from Bedford will win $100. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Barbara is going to win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Our first Sonic Slam Inning of the year. We are set to go to the bottom part of the Ranger batting order. Rougned Odor turning on a Felix Hernandez pitch inside, fouls it away. Odor got the 5th inning started with a walk, and then swiped second, advanced to third on an error, and came around to score the first Ranger run. Watch out. Foul, and that the bat got by the netting. The ball hit the net.
Boy, that's sawed off from top to bottom, so it's sharp to begin with. It goes in spinning. You don't have any idea how it's going to bounce. Boy, that's way more dangerous than a ball.
Sure is. Yeah, and the Rangers, along with some other clubs, have extended the protective screens down to the end of each dugout.
Well, he did the right thing by turning his back to it. The little boy in front was in jeopardy. Fortunately, it bounced the other way.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Everybody's okay. Yeah, you expect maybe a ball down that way. You don't expect a bat to come flying at you, though.
Right.
Fortunately, everybody's happy and everybody's safe.
Got him swinging. Ball on the dirt. And Iannetta throws it right by Odor. And Lynn stays with it.
Felix has had a great curveball today. The Rangers haven't hit a ball hard off him yet. Another breaking ball down. That's a pretty nice catch by Lind. You can see what he's contending with there. A hard sinker going right by the batter, running to first base, shielding him. Probably pretty happy to have caught that ball.
You know, if I didn't know better, I would have thought that Iannetta might have been trying to hit Odor running down the baseline, because Odor was on the fair side of the line.
Maybe.
You get an occasional veteran catcher that pulls that. Okay, if you're going to run in there, I'm going to nail you. The batter's going to be out anyway. No, I won't lay that on Iannetta yet. I don't know him very well, so. In any event, that's out number 1. Here's Elvis. Elvis 0 for 1 today, although he reached on the error by Kyle Seager in the 5th inning. Came around to score.
Well, Felix got himself in trouble with the 3 walks, but the 2 errors probably cost him 15 pitches last inning. Maybe an extra inning today. Definitely the ball that Adrian hit was a double play ball, and after that he had to face 2 more hitters. Errors happen.
Yep.
But they happened at a bad time for Felix that last inning. Centered around the 3 walks.
Yeah, if you consider a walk a pitcher's error, there were 5 errors that inning, so it happens.
Felix has walked 5 guys today.
Off the end of the bat out toward Cano. The base is empty for Robinson Chirinos.
I guess there's been a couple of ground balls that were hit solidly. Maybe a line drive or so to the outfield that was hit halfway decent, but for the most part, other than the walks and the hit batter, it's been a pretty dominating performance by Hernandez.
From that standpoint, as a hitter, would this be one of the times you'd say a pitcher was effectively wild?
Seems that way.
Where you just never were sure when Felix is going to throw a strike?
I think there's some people I might be less inclined to say that about, and one of them might be Hernandez, just because he's tough to hit no matter whether he's walking guys or not. But today he hasn't thrown many good pitches to hit. He has been wild, but he's made a lot of good pitches. He's had the Rangers chasing the curveball, and he's mixed up his pitches well too. When he has thrown his fastball, it's been at a time where the hitter has seen some off-speed pitches and they just haven't been able to time his fastball. But you know, the guy's a Hall of Fame type caliber pitcher, so it stands to reason if he's got halfway decent stuff, you're going to have a hard time hitting him. That's who he is. Unusual line though, 1 hit, 5 walks.
Yeah.
And one of those runs, I guess, was earned. I thought they were all unearned. Guess not.
Oh, 2 to Chirinos. Robinson had the sacrifice bunt his last time up. Got him swinging. Thanks Hernandez now with 4 strikeouts in the last 5 hitters sends the Rangers down in order. We're moving on to inning number 7. It's the Rangers 3, the Mariners 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. this afternoon's Ford game summary. Couple of long balls. Kyle Seager with the second one off of Cole Hamels. That made it a 2-0 game. Rangers came back though. Some fortuitous at-bats, a couple of walks, a bloop single. That's the only base that they've had, but Prince Fielder driving in the tying run. And then Kyle Seager becomes the 6th strikeout victim of Cole Hamels. And Cole has turned things around. So have the Rangers, leading 3-2 as we head to the 7th inning. Franklin Gutierrez to start things off. And takes ball 1. Gutierrez has struck out and been hit by a pitch. Gutierrez, Lind, and Iannetta. And Hamels missing a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. So Cole working into the 7th inning. Keone Kellett getting ready in that Ranger bullpen. In case you were wondering, the longest that Cole worked in an A game this year in spring training was 5 1/3 innings. Back on the 20th of March. So I'm sure that he's very close to the pitch count that Jeff Bannister and Doug Brocail would feel real comfortable with. Number 86 of the afternoon coming. 3-1. Stuff-wise, though, Cole Hamels in pretty good shape. Still popping the fastball in there in the low to mid 90s. 3 hits, 2 runs, couple of walks. 3-2 now. Lynn waiting in that on-deck circle. Hamels in the payoff pitch. Lost him. Well, the tying run aboard after the leadoff walk. And Lynn coming to the plate. 3rd walk issued by Cole Hamels this afternoon. Jeff Bannister. He's not calling out for pizza. He wants some information about Keone Kellett, and maybe is there going to be somebody else getting up? Well, the strength of that Ranger.
A lot of left-hand hitters in the lineup. There's 5 of them in the lineup today. Perfectly spaced. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 in the lineup.
Here's Lind, who is 0 for 2. And he couldn't check his swing on the breaking ball.
Now, Cole's had a good curveball today. Good curveball, good slider, good changeup. All around good stuff for him today.
Adam Lind, a 20 home run year last year. Oh, 0-2. Shadows, as you could see on that shot. Here's the replay of that pitch, but shadows starting to be a little bit of a factor. The left-handed hitter's batter's box in particular in complete shadow. You have the shadow of the light standard encroaching on the mound. So it's got to be some difficult angles to see baseballs coming your way.
Yeah, and the other thing that probably is coming into play is the sun in left field now as it gets later on in the afternoon. As it starts to set behind the seats. Ian saw the sun in center field in Arizona. He's going to see it in left field right now.
Got him swinging. Strikeout number 7. Lynn gone for the 2nd time.
Well, after the leadoff walk, 3 straight good pitches to Adam Lynn and a strikeout. Good job right there by Cole. Coming back and making the pitches.
Pretty good changeup right there.
And just swinging at it like it's a fastball.
Now 1 out. Here is Chris Iannetta, and he's very much a candidate for a double play grounder. Iannetta 1 for 1 this afternoon, a walk and a single. One thing you have to be aware of in this kind of a situation, Iannetta not at all opposed to going the other way with the pitch out away from him. He's very effective at driving that ball to right field, especially with a man on first. And Hamels says, that's fine. Just go up there a little bit higher this time. 0-2. Chirinos with the sides. Hamels ready. Cole Hamels won each of his first 5 decisions in this ballpark last year, and he just one of 6 starters in park history to open up his career with the Rangers at 5-0 or better. Into the hole in left field for a base hit. An off-speed pitch that hung up there for Iannetta. And the Mariners now runners at first and second, 1 away, and Leonis Martin, the scheduled hitter, will be pulled back. Is going to be pinch hit for.
A good day for Iannetta. He got a walk and ground ball single to right, ground ball single to left.
This is going to be Dae-Ho Lee, as Doug Brocail is going to go out and talk with Cole Hamels. Dae-Ho Lee, from Korea, came over, signed a contract with the Seattle Mariners, and making his major league debut. Lee, a very powerful hitter in the Korean League.
Yeah, this guy's got some years under his belt. He's not like a young rookie coming over here. He's played since 2001. He's hit a lot of home runs.
He had 31 of them last year.
Yeah, hit over 300 home runs in Japan and South Korea.
There's Dae-Ho Lee, 33-year-old right-handed hitter, and he takes strike 1. Lee signed a minor league free agent contract with the Mariners back in February. He was added to the roster at the end of spring training. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dae-Ho Lee played his last 4 years in Japan. He had played prior to that in Korea. In Japan, he hit .293 in those 4 years. He had 98 home runs for 4 years. That's pretty impressive. Inning by inning for you, Cole Hamels. 19 the most. That was back in the 2nd inning. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. The appeal down to first, and Marvin Hudson, just to make sure, rang up that right fist. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just able to get a piece of it. Still 1-2.
Changeup just ticked it right off the end of the bat. About as close as you can come to missing a ball and getting a piece of it.
The runner set. Gutierrez at second. Iannetta at first. Got him swinging. Well, Lee in his major league debut down on strikes. Cole Hamels gets his 8th punch out.
I guess if you see a player coming over here for the first time, a guy with that kind of power, big guy like that, pretty much assume that he can handle the fastball. Cole gave him a steady diet of changeups. Kept that one where he couldn't make any contact with it. Got him to swing at it.
That takes the Mariners now back to the top of the order. Nori Aoki will be up for the 4th time today. Aoki 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice in his soft line out. Last time up, grounded into a double play.
Yeah, here's when you have to be careful because he does slice the ball to left field, and if you're Ian Desmond out there, I'm sure the sun's getting pretty tough to contend with.
And
Aoki Looks like he steps toward first base and slices the ball to left field on a pretty regular basis. Toward left field, anyway.
Kind of like your buddy Ichiro.
Yeah, he's got a little Ichiro in him. Whoops. I think that ball literally might have been in the mitt when he swung at it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, my goodness.
It was.
I've got to think that the shade-sun combination is having a little bit of an effect. 0-2 the count. Out of play down the left side. Well, the shadows now, as you noted, about halfway between home plate and the mound. And Cole, with the shadow also of the light standard, kind of throwing out a twilight out there. Ball probably looks like it disappears about halfway to home plate. Goes into the shadows.
Yeah, I don't know how most hitters feel about that. I've never felt that comfortable hitting like that.
Another 0-2. Chop to the right side. Odor gobbles it up. And Hamels able to work around a walk and a single. 2 left. We'll take the 7th inning stretch with the Rangers leading the Mariners 3-2. Now join us as we have Chuck Morgan introduce God Bless America.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention now to the area behind home plate and welcome Neil McCoy. In honor of the servicemen and women stationed at home and around the world, Neil will now perform God Bless America.
And if you will, would you please sing it with me? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.tv Premium. Simply go to T-Mobile.com/MLB. Sign up now and catch every moment of America's fastest-growing LTE network. Well, the Rangers have seen the last of Felix Hernandez for today, and there won't be any tears shed about that. Mike Montgomery comes into the ballgame. Montgomery last year, 16 ball games, had a .460 ERA with the Mariners. Spent about half the year down at AAA Tacoma. And Delino DeShields leading off against the lefty, and he is down in the count 0-1. Seth Smith has entered the ballgame to take over in left field, with Nori Aoki moving from left into center. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delino running up as if to bunt. DeShields a walk and a hit by pitch today. 0 for 1 his only official at bat, fly to right field. Facing the 26-year-old left-hander Mike Montgomery, who misses low. Montgomery goes 6'5". He's a pretty lanky 215 pounds. Out of Mission Hills, California. Pulled foul, and the count evens now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Been a lot of talk in the early part of camp about Delino DeShields, the looked like muscle mass that he had put on. He has gone on strikes here. Montgomery with a pretty wicked breaking ball. That is out number 1. And before Shin-Soo Choo steps in, let's send it over to John Radigan for a Chevy game break. All right, John, thank you. Here is Choo. Shin-Soo gathered a bases loaded walk to drive in his first run of the year. That was back in the 5th inning. Other than that, Choo has struck out or flied out and grounded out. High chopper, foul, and the count moves to a ball and a strike. Rangers 3 runs on just 1 hit this afternoon. 2 of the 3 runs against Felix Hernandez unearned. Mariners 2 runs on just 4 hits against Cole Hamels. Mike Montgomery, originally a property of the Kansas City Royals. Choo trying to butt his way aboard, trying to go against the shift, and bunted it foul.
That's a great time to bunt. You get a base runner on, got the middle of the lineup coming up. All you have to do is get it by the pitcher. It's a base hit. No way Seager can come in and make a play on that. So I'm all for it. Keep trying it. Not that you're too worried about what our permission is, but
Choo slicing one to left field, and it just goes foul. Maybe a foot or 2 into foul territory. Well, if you had an option for the bunt, it would be drop in a double.
Well, he stayed with that curveball nicely, waited on it. Pretty good curveball. You see it slicing, just foul.
So Choo back to the plate. Count remains even. Call, strike 3. Choo completely locked up on that Montgomery offering. Back-to-back strikeouts for the left-hander. 2 gone, and Prince Fielder coming up.
Been more of a slider than a curveball. Pretty good stuff from Montgomery. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, pretty good curveball. Got the strikeout with a slider.
Fielder takes the first pitch for ball 1. Now, hits last season, the American League leaders I'll show you that Prince Fielder was third in the loop. He was 13 behind Jose Altuve, a league leader. Our Ford leaderboard. The first of 162 or so of those each year. 1-1 the count. Prince, the only base hit for the Rangers this afternoon. It was a dying quail to left field. And he's caught looking at a breaking ball to the inside corner, and it's a 1-2-3 inning with 3 strikeouts for Mike Montgomery. We're going to the 8th inning. Rangers lead 3-2.
As we head to the top of the 8th here at Globe Life Park in Arlington, and some good news for the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation and Rangers fans, as this offseason, Texas voters approved the 50-50 raffle, which benefits both the Rangers Foundation and those participating in the raffle. The Rangers Foundation President Karen Morris has more.
This season, Texas Rangers fans will have a huge opportunity to win big at every Rangers home game through the Texas 2-split, the Rangers Foundation's 50-50 raffle. Tickets will be sold at kiosks like this or through roving sellers from the time gates open until the end of the 6th inning. Fans will take home half the jackpot, and Rangers Foundation will receive the other part of the jackpot to continue giving back to the community and making an impact in youth baseball, youth health, youth education, and youth in crisis.
So we've heard about this 50-50 raffle as we've gone out on the road. Other teams do it. So it really is a win-win for everyone. You have a chance to win, take home half the jackpot. Of course, the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation benefits directly as well. So a fun new little item here at the ballpark to take in. I know, Tom and Buzz, you guys are very familiar with these 50-50 raffles.
Yeah, we are. I'm not particularly knowledgeable about the 50% that you take home. I never have done that. No, I could bet on a 90-10 raffle and not win.
I've never had much luck either.
Hey, how's your arm? I kind of kiddingly, when you weren't up here, said that you had to ice your arm up before you came up here. Yeah. Probably be about third inning before you
well, you're right. I needed to. I didn't have time to. I needed to. I wasn't too worried, though. A lot of the pressure was taken off when I realized I was going to throw it to Pudge.
Yeah.
Because I could throw it high, low, outside, inside, didn't matter where. Pudge was going to catch it. So that took the pressure off.
You and Bobby Jones, a couple of veterans, you made good moves and moving up to where it was comfortable.
Well, you know, President Bush is sitting in the front row, and I happened to be standing there on my way out to throw out the pitch, and I had to say to him, I'm going to show some disrespect towards you today. And he wondered what I was going to say, and I said, after you threw the ball from the top of the mound after 9/11 in Yankee Stadium in front of 60,000 people, took a wind-up and threw a strike from the top of the mound, I'm going to step in front of the mound. And he kind of smiled. But I've heard a lot of people say, and I agree with him, that pitch might have been the greatest first pitch ever delivered in a baseball game.
I agree. All right, Jimmy John's delivery of the ball game. Talking about good pitches. How about Cole Hamels with the 8 strikeouts this afternoon? Pretty good deliveries from the left-hander.
Yeah, that was a superb effort by Cole.
Yep.
He had everything today. He had his fastball, and he had a really good assortment of off-speed pitches. Good curveball, good changeup. Seemed like he worked very well with Robinson Chirinos. 7 strong innings. That was very nice to see.
And we'll give props to Jake Diekman, too, who fell behind 3-0 to Marte and then was able to come back and get the fly ball, keep the tying run off base here in the 8th inning.
Well, just getting back to President Bush's pitch at Yankee Stadium, I've seen him say, and I've heard him say, that in his life he can't remember ever feeling more pressure than he felt that day to go to the top of the mound and throw a strike. Derek Jeter had said to him, don't even think about going to the front of the mound. These fans will boo you, and whatever you do, don't bounce it. So he had to go to the top of the mound and throw a strike, and he delivered. And I still believe it was the greatest first pitch ever delivered under the circumstances.
And Cano gone on strikes. 2 gone. Well, Diekman, his first strikeout of the year.
Boy, now that pitch is going to strike some left-hand hitters out. That hard, what do you call it? Is that a cutter or a slider?
Slider. I would call it a slider.
That was a perfect pitch.
But from the angle that he throws from, that's got to be. I don't think there are many left-handers around that are going to do much with that.
No.
No, 2 gone. And here is Nelson Cruz stepping in. Numbers for Jake Diekman last year: 67 games overall, 26 of those with the Rangers after coming over from the Phillies. He had a 2.08 ERA with the Rangers last year in his 26 games. Only 7 walks in 21 and 2/3 innings. Drops that breaking ball into Cruz. 1-1.
Boy, after those first 3 balls, he hasn't looked too bad since then.
No. Took him 3 pitches to get zeroed in, and once he did, lights out.
And those pitches were fine. They were 97 miles an hour. They're just a hair low.
2-1 to Cruz. Nelly this afternoon has struck out, walked, and reached on an error. Diekman towing the rubber as he checks in for the sign. 2-2.
A changeup.
Down out of the strike zone. Crowd now getting into it. Playing the top of the 8th inning with the Rangers leading by 1.
Trying it again, but Nelly was able to lay off of it.
Well, Cruz is able to get on base again. Kyle Seager, left-handed hitting third baseman, will be next. Diekman with a payoff pitch. We'll try it again.
A little bit outside, but Nelly still got a piece of it at 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, Tom, you had talked about Cruz taking the ball the other way earlier in the ball game. That's a great example right there.
Yeah, I think before he might have tried to pull that and not been able to get just a little piece of it.
Up the middle, snagged by Diekman. A 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander. Mariners gone in the 8th after 7.5. Rangers 3, Mariners 2 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Welcome back to Globe Life Park. Buzz and Tom. Time for the Progressive Fan of the Game. We got to give it to Lynette and Elizabeth, grade school friends. Lynette, a retired school teacher. You've been coming to a lot of opening day games, and you decided to do something different this year. Why?
Because we knew the Rangers were going to have a hot dog of a season this year after their last season.
And you got some nice signs. What do they read? We relish opening day, and I brought my best friend. She is cheesy. Very good, girls. Here's the bag. Congratulations, Progressive fans of the game. Anything else you'd like to say?
Hot dog, go Rangers!
There we go. All right, Buzz.
I don't think I have a topping for that. Well, Beltre flying out to left field, the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mitch Moreland will be next to face Mike Montgomery. Mitch 0 for 3 this afternoon with a couple of strikeouts. Well, Montgomery striking out the side in order in the 7th inning. It's Beltre on the first pitch, and now facing Moreland. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, the Mariners in that extreme overshift. As Sean Tollison, Ranger closer, getting ready in the bullpen.
Well, Mitch is thinking about it.
Yep.
Why not?
Well, Seager had started the shift off the first couple of pitches by being at the cut of the grass. He's moving back in close to the cut of the grass.
So just by faking a bunt, you get a little bit better shot for a base hit now.
And that is ball 3. Excuse me, ball 2.
Now he's going back.
That's ball 3. And to the backstop for ball 4. Moreland will be aboard for the first time this afternoon. The folks at Papa John and the Rangers have teamed up to honor club history every Thursday night this season with a collectible throwback Thursday pin. The first edition honoring the Rangers' first game in 1972 will be given out to the first 10,000 fans at Globe Life Park on Thursday, April the 14th. Rangers take on the Baltimore Orioles. Get your tickets at texasrangers.com. Ian Desmond swinging through that Montgomery fastball. It is 0-1. Desmond a strikeout and a couple of groundouts today. Here are the numbers we talked about from last year, just a .233 average, but 19 home runs, 62 RBI. 0-2. Looking at some of the stats compiled for the last couple of years, Ian Desmond right among the top in Major League Baseball as far as swinging at the first pitch and swinging early in the count. He loves to do that. And you can see by the 4 at-bats now he's had today that that has not changed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Interesting article about the ebbs and flows of baseball, the cyclical nature, and talking to some pitching coaches about how things have changed, first ball hitters and that kind of thing. And Ian Desmond eyeballing that one right into the glove of Chris Iannetta, but it's called strike 3. Well, our AT high-speed internet replay, and there he goes. Now this is normal speed, so don't adjust your TV set. Tom Grieve and Bobby Jones throwing to Pudge Rodriguez and Rusty Greer. 50 years. Congratulations, Tom. That is quite a feat.
It looks like a simple thing, but it's an incredible thrill and an honor to throw out the first pitch on opening day with all the fans there. You know, you just remember what it was like to be on the field when you're down there right before the game. All the players are warming up. 40,000-50,000 people in the stands. It was just very exciting and a real honor to be able to do that.
Lind, a diving stop again, and he gets Rougned Odor, so that'll do it. Rangers get a walk from Mitch Moreland, but Strandham, we're going to the 9th inning. Is it tally time for the first time? He is on his way in with the Rangers leading 3-2. fireworks show of the year will take place on Friday, April 15th. That follows a game between the Rangers and the Orioles, a courtesy of TXU Energy. Fans using the online coupon code FIREWORKS will get tickets for just $15. Visit TexasRangers.com. Get your tickets for a Friday night tradition. Sean Tollison not wanting any fireworks here. He is on to try and corral the first save of 2016. Tollison, a great year last year. 73 ball games overall, a 2.99 ERA. He was almost perfect. 35 of 37 in save opportunities after he took over on May 20th. And dealing to Kyle Seager, the first pitch goes all the way to the backstop. Seager, at least for one game against Tollison, was his nemesis. Seager, a game-winning home run up in Seattle. One ball and one strike.
He was going for a game-tying home run right there.
Tollison, a 28-year-old Allen, Texas native, still lives out there, and a Baylor ex. Facing Kyle Seager, a North Carolina ex. To the right side, it's going to have to be Tollison.
Nice play.
Odor makes a great throw to Tollison.
Wow. Boy, when you're out there, that's a tough play. It took a tough hop, and he didn't just goose it over to first base. He fired a strike to Tollison covering at first base. Huge out against a dangerous hitter. Tough play. It gets by the first baseman. Watch Rubnet. He fires that ball to Sean at first base, and they get the leadoff hitter and a tough one at that. Nice play.
You know, I say this facetiously sometimes, that it's a good thing it was close to spring training. This is the first game of the year because the guys are used to doing that.
Yeah.
The further away you get from spring training, the less practice you have at that play. But in that one, you can see the timing is critical, and the confidence that Rubnet Odor had to throw to Tollison and know that he would catch the ball and then step on the bag. Very well done.
That was.
So a huge out, number one, and Franklin Gutierrez takes strike one. Gutierrez this afternoon has been hit by a pitch and walked. He is 0 for 1, having struck out in his only other at bat. Takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Now Tollison ready to work. Dolly a little extra in the gas tank here this afternoon. 95 miles an hour as he went upstairs. Well, opening day will give you a little extra giddy up. Sometimes it's hard to harness, but you got to be experienced like Sean Tollison and know what to do with it when you get that extra adrenaline. Just missed outside. 2-2. Tollison and Gutierrez have not faced each other in regular season play. Ranger right-hander ready. Out of play to the right. Tomorrow, right back here. AT&T high-speed internet tells you that 7 o'clock tomorrow night, the first night game of the year. Kyle Seager and his Seattle Mariners and the Prince Fielder-led Texas Rangers be with you at 6:30 for Rangers Live. First pitch a little bit after 7:05 right here on Fox Sports Southwest. Got him swinging. 2 down.
Last 4 pitches Sean threw were 95 miles an hour. And it's not a straight fastball either. That ball's got a little bit of cutting action on it. And right by Gutierrez. Sean missed some time in spring training. Was able to catch up right at the end and be ready for the season. And he's got his best fastball today. See if he can finish it off right here. Tough hitter, Adam Lynn.
Not many of the sellout crowd have left the premises, and they are on their feet as Lynn steps in. Strike one. Lynn, a couple of strikeouts and a grounder. 0 for 3 on opening day. Strike two. Pretty good command of whatever Tollison's throwing up there today. He's had a great idea and great feel for it. This crowd getting behind Sean Tollison. Call strike three. Tollison wraps up the save on opening day, and Cole Hamels is a winner for the Rangers. So many good things happening today. Rangers come back. They win with only 1 hit this afternoon. They score 3 times against Felix Hernandez on a couple of errors and 3 walks. And they have that to be enough to propel them to a 3-2 opening day win. And they snap the Mariners' 9-game opening day winning streak.
The Rangers got 1 hit last year on opening day too. Lost 8-0, I think. Today they get 1 hit, a blooper to left field. Didn't hit a ball hard the whole day, but they hung in there. They got great pitching, and they get a 3-2 win on a day where the bats were silent. Great job by Tollison. Man, that's Tolly at his best right there. I don't think he ever looked better last year than he did right there.
No, that's a guy that was concerned about him because he hadn't had a lot of work in spring training. Was dealing with a bad back, and I don't think there's any sign of any kind of physical ailment for Sean Tollison. Not throwing the ball
Not
like
today.
That. All right, so Sean Tollison able to close this out. Rangers get their first W of 2016, and Cole Hamels runs his winning streak to 8 consecutive decisions. Let's head down to the field. Emily Jones is standing by.
Thank you very much, Cole Hamels. You just said it, 3rd time's a charm. Your 3rd start on opening day, your 1st win. What was this one like today?
It's just nice to be able to get out there. I think, there's something about being opening day. You kind of get the adrenaline flowing. Obviously, I wasn't able to make a couple big pitches early on, and I was hurt. But, it's just you just grind away. You kind of get back into that comfort level. But it's just great to see how these guys just kept plugging away, because Felix is an outstanding pitcher. And, sometimes you're not going to be able to get too many hits off him, but you got to be able to find ways to win.
Now, what do you say, or what do you see from the bench when they're grinding away? New routine. Oh, look, they come equipped. Isn't that nice? They douse you, shaving cream, and then you give you a wash rag, and even took off your hat. You that's got to feel good, even though your hair's a little messed up now.
Oh well.
As far as the offense is concerned, like you said, they kept grinding, they kept battling. That smash hit by Prince in the 5th inning.
Oh my God! Yeah, he used everything he has. I've seen him in the weight room, and I think he used everything he's got from that weight room strength. But no, it is Felix. You just have to grind, and that's what we're able to do. Find a way to win.
Right, and this team, it seems like that's been kind of the mantra: find a way to win, regardless of the situation. And when you're up against a pitcher like Felix Hernandez, for the team to be able to do that, got to be a good way to start the season.
It is. No, I think we're living the never ever quit right here. So started game 1.
Then finally the crowd. What was it like to be a part of this opening day?
It's fun. Being able to be out here in Texas, being very first time for opening day here, they get into it. It's exciting to be here and just to feed off the energy.
Cole, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Congratulations on the win. Cole Hamels, guys, send it back up to you.
All right, Emily, thank you. Texas Ranger Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. By AT high-speed internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Well, the Rangers win it 3-2. We'll be back to wrap things up from Globe Life Park in Arlington right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.